Problem number 6. Three identical lamps as shown in the figure, each having a resistance R, are connected to a battery of EMF as shown in the figure. Suddenly, the switch S is closed. Now, what are asked? A. Calculate the current in the circuit when S is open and B and closed. B. What happens to the intensities of the bulbs A, B, and C in both cases while it is in open and while it is closed? Then calculate the voltage across the three bulbs when S is open and S is closed. And the fourth one, option D, calculate the power delivered to the circuit when S is open and closed. And the fifth one, E, does the power delivered to the circuit decreases, increases, or remains the same when it is closed? ஒரு 5 கான்செப்ட் கேட்டிருக்காங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் எடுப்போம். அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் படிக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி you just consider. See, when the switch S is closed, when the switch S is closed, we can very well say that the bulb C becomes ineffective. The bulb C becomes ineffective because when you are closing C, it is equal to short circuiting. If it is equal to short circuiting means the current that is coming out from that of the EMF will flow through the switch and no current will flow through C when the switch S is closed. So I am saying when the switch S is closed, the bulb C becomes ineffective. That is, no current flows through what? No current flows through the bulb C. Flows through the bulb C when it is or when the key or when the switch S is closed. Okay, what it is asked? The first asked is A. What it is asked? Calculate the current in the circuit. So you are asked to calculate current. Let us consider the current as I. Current I in the circuit you are asked to calculate. So what is the value of the current in that circuit? If I want to calculate the current, I have to calculate the total resistance because we know that according to Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. R is the total resistance. Now, I have to calculate the current in two cases. So current I is V divided by R total. See, in this they have asked in two conditions. The first condition is when the switch S is open. When the switch S is open, what is the total resistance? All the three bulbs are in series. If all the three bulbs are in series means then the total resistance is R plus R plus R. So total resistance RT is equal to 3R. After calculating the total resistance, you substitute in this above equation. What is the value of current then? The value of current I is equal to voltage by total resistance. Voltage is the EMF connected divided by what is the total resistance? Total resistance is 3R. So the current available in this circuit when the switch S is open is given as I is equal to E by 3R. Since all the three bulbs are in series, current is a constant. Similarly, I have to calculate what is the current when the switch S is closed. I have to calculate the current I when the switch S is closed. When the switch S is closed, then C becomes ineffective. C becomes ineffective. If C becomes ineffective, the current will flow through S and no current will flow through C. Then what will be the total resistance? If C is ineffective means you leave out the C. So bulb A and bulb B are in series. So the total resistance is R plus R. So the total resistance is equal to 2R. So what is the value of current when the switch is closed? The value of current I is equal to EMF E divided by what? EMF E divided by 2R. This is what we are calling it out as the current flowing through the circuit when the switch is open and the switch is closed. So the next concept asks this: what happens to the intensities of the bulb A, B, and C? See, what happens to the intensities? I am taking here. What happened to the intensities of bulbs? Intensities of bulbs abdina, how the bulbs are glowing. See, when you are considering the switch S open, when you are considering the switch S open, we can say the current I passing through all the bulbs are considered to be same. Current I is same through all bulbs, through all the bulbs, and all the bulbs are having the same resistance. So we can say intensities of the bulb A, bulb B, and bulb C are same when the switch S is open, because the current is same, the resistance is same, automatically the intensity is considered to be same. But at the same time, what will happen to the intensity when S is closed? When S is closed, we can say the current I flows through A and B. Current I flows through what? Flows through A and B alone. Then no current flows through C. No current through C. Since no current through C, the bulb C won't glow. Bulb C won't glow. The intensity of bulb C is 0. But at the same time, intensities of bulb A and bulb B are same, since the current and resistance are equal. But the intensity is more than the previous case. More than the previous case. More than the previous case means that is when the switch S is open. Switch S open ஆயிருக்கும்பொழுது என்ன இன்டென்சிட்டி இருந்ததோ அதை விட ஏக்கும் பிக்கும் இன்டென்சிட்டி அதிகமா இருக்கும். ஆனா சிக்கு இன்டென்சிட்டியே இருக்காது. பட் ஏக்கும் பிக்கும் இன்டென்சிட்டி எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா ஈக்குவல் இன்டென்சிட்டிஸ் இருக்கும். இது we are considering it as the second concept. The option C is calculate the voltage across the three bulbs when S is open and S is closed. Okay, in series combination, current is constant and voltages are different. So we are going to calculate voltage across each bulb. Voltage across each bulb. Here also we have to consider two cases. Voltage across each bulb when S is open. So when S is open, the current I through A, B, and C are considered to be same. Then the resistance R for the three bulbs that also considered to be same. We know that. What is the formula for voltage? We know that voltage V is equal to I into R. So what is the voltage across the bulb A? Voltage across the bulb A is current into resistance. When the switch is open, the current is E divided by 3R. So I can substitute E divided by 3R, multiplied it with R. So I can say VA, potential or voltage across the bulb A is E divided by 3 volts. Similarly, I can consider the voltage across B. So what is voltage across B? Voltage across B is current through B and resistance of B. Current through B is the same value, E divided by 3R into capital R. So voltage across B is equal to E divided by 3. Similarly, you calculate voltage across C. Voltage across C is current into resistance. So E divided by 3R into R. RR will get cancelled. So voltage across C is E divided by 3. So voltage across C is E by 3. Voltage across B is E divided by 3. Voltage across A is E divided by 3 volt. Any change, any difficulty? So this is considered to be the voltage across A, B, and C when S is open. Similarly, you calculate what is the value of voltages when S is closed. When S is closed, current through C is equal to 0. So voltage across C is equal to 0. We have calculated the voltage across C first of all. Voltage across A. What is the value of voltage across A? Current through A and resistance of A. When the switch is closed, see here I have written, when switch is closed, current I available is E by 2R. So I can write this as I is E divided by 2R into R. In the R cancel I know. So voltage across A is E divided by 2 volt. So when the switch is closed, voltage across A becomes E by 2 volt. Similarly, voltage across B in I into capital R, that is E divided by 2R into R. R will get cancelled. So what we will able to get? You can able to get VB is equal to E divided by 2 volt. So potential across A and the potential across B are same, while the potential across C is equal to 0. Hope you should have understood what is D. D is calculate the power delivered to the circuit when S is open and closed. So I have to calculate the power delivered. See, first of all, I am calculating the power delivered when S is open. Let us consider the equation for power. We know that power is equal to voltage into current. Or I can say like this, instead of I can substitute V by R, means power delivered is equal to V square divided by R. Now, the power delivered by A, when the key S is open, what is the power delivered by A? Potential across A, the whole square, divided by R. So what will be its value then? Come on, what will be its value? Here I have calculated voltage across A is E by 3 in E by 3 volt. See, when I am squaring it out, I can write E square divided by 9 multiplied it with R. This gives you the power delivered across the bulb A. Similarly, I can calculate the power delivered across the bulb B. That is VB square divided by R. Come on, see the previous case. What is VB? Voltage across B E by 3. Square it out, you get E square divided by 9. Multiplied it with R. So the power delivered by the bulb B is, again, we are considering it as E square by 9R. Similarly, you calculate the power delivered by the bulb C, again given by VC square divided by R, which is E square divided by 9R, because voltage across C is E by 3. When you are squaring it out, E square divided by 9 multiplied it with R, denominator R. So you can able to get the value of the power delivered by C as E square by 9R. So when the switch S is open, then power delivered by A, power delivered by B, and power delivered by C are same. So I can say PA is equal to PB is equal to PC when S is open. Okay, the same power delivered when S is closed, it is also asked. Sir, when S is closed, we know that power delivered is given by the formula V square divided by R. First of all, I can write PZ is equal to 0 since voltage across the bulb C is equal to 0. So power delivered by C is 0 first of all. Then what is the power delivered by A and what is the power delivered by B when S is closed? So power delivered by A, what is power delivered by A? Then I have to write VA square divided by R. What is VA? When switch is closed, VA is E by 2. When I am squaring it out, I am getting it as E square divided by 4. Here on R. So power delivered by A is E square divided by 4R. Similarly, power delivered by B, it is considered to be VB square divided by R. So power delivered by B, VB is equal to, again VB is E square divided by 4, again 1 R. So VB square divided by 4R. So when the switch is closed, the power delivered is what? The power delivered is PA is equal to E square divided by 4R. PB is also E square divided by 4R. And here we can write, when the switch is closed, power A is equal to power B. But the power delivered by C is equal to 0. Hope you should understand is, does the power delivered to the circuit decreases, increases, or remains the same அப்படின்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. See what happens அப்படின்னா, the total power அப்படின்னு சொல்லக்கூடியது increase ஆகும். See when you are considering the switches is closed, because switches close ஆகும்போது we can able to get total power in PA plus PB plus PC in when S is open. When S is closed, total power is PA plus PB. Which one will be higher? See E square by 9. இங்க E square by 4. R எல்லாம் constant, E எல்லாம் constant. அப்போ PB inversely proportional to 9. இங்க PA inversely or PA or PB inversely proportional to 4. So after the switch S is closed, power is considered to get increased. So we can say after closing, we can say the total power, what happens? Total power increases. That was the answer. Hope you should have understood each and everything. I think the whole thing is available in your screen. I think so. You can copy it now.
Yes, sir. Completed.
Problem number 7 is, an electronics hobbyist is building a radio which requires 150 ohms in her circuit, but she has only 220 ohm and 79 ohm and 92 ohm resistors available. How can she connect the available resistors to get the desired value of resistance? See, the resistance required, the RT nu vechukkom. The resistance required is 150 ohm. But what are the resistance available? The resistance available are, one of the resistance, let us take it as R1, which is 220 ohm. Another resistance available, R2, is equal to 79 ohm. And another resistance available, R3, is equal to 92 ohm. How can she connect the available resistors to get the desired value of the total resistance? See, we know there are two ways by which the resistances can be connected. When the resistances are combined in series, then the total resistance will increase. We have to use all the three resistances so that I have to get 150. See, when I am connecting it in series, then the total resistance will be more than that of 150. So it is not possible to connect it in series. If I am connecting all the three resistances in parallel, the total resistance will be less. It will be less than that of the least resistance in the combination. If all these three resistors are connected in parallel, then the total resistance will be less than 79. So I can't able to connect it in parallel also. Then how I can connect in order to get 150 ohms? In order to get 150 ohms, I have to use both. I have to consider any two of the resistors either in series or in parallel, and another one in series or in parallel. So I have to go for different options. What I am going to do first of all? First of all, I am going to apply like R1 and R2 in series. I am going to take like this, R1 and R2 in series and R3 in parallel. R3 in parallel. I am taking an option like this. If I am taking R1 and R2 in series, then it is wrong. because 220 plus 79, because when I am taking R1 and R2 in series, the resistance will be more than that of 150. So this is not possible. So this option I should not take. So I am going for another option. What is the another option? I am taking R1 and R2 in parallel and R3 in series. What will happen? I have to check it out. See, R1 and R3 in series and R2 in parallel can be taken. But when R1 and R3 are in series, if I am taking like this, R1 and R3 in series and R2 in parallel, then also the total resistance will be more than that of 150. So this combination is also not possible, or we can't able to get 150 out of that combination also. So the first two are ruled out. I am taking the third combination. Still, what are the two more combinations I can take? R1 and R2 in parallel and R3 in series, or R1 and R3 in parallel and R2 in series. First of all, I am taking this and finding out the value. If I am able to get 150, that will be the answer. If not, I have to go for another option. So I am taking an option like this. What option I am taking? I am considering R1 and R2 as parallel and R3 in series. So if R1 and R2 are in parallel, what will happen? If R1 and R2 are in parallel, then I can write 1 divided by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 divided by R2. You simplify 1 divided by Rp equal to 1 by, what is the value of R1? 150, sorry, 220. R1 is taken to be 220. Plus, what is R2? R2 is taken to be 79. Now you calculate what is the value of 1 by Rp. 1 by Rp na LCM edutona 220 into 79. So in the numerator, I will be getting 220 plus 79. So I can get 299 divided by 220 into 79. So therefore, what is the value of Rp then? Take a reciprocal. Just I am multiplying 220 into 79. What is the value of 220 into 79? I am getting it as, with the help of the calculators, I am simplifying so that I can calculate the value. 220 into 79 is given as 17,380 divided by 299. So when I am dividing with the 299, I am getting the value as 58.12 ohm. So I am taking the value of Rp is nearly equal to 58 ohm. Then what is the next one? To this parallel combination, R3 is in series. So if R3 is next one, if R3 connected in series with Rp, then the total resistance Rp is equal to series combination of Rp and R3. So what will be the total resistance then? Rp is 58 and R3 is 92. So I can able to get 150 ohms. So if I am combining the given three resistors in R2 and R1 and R2 in parallel and R3 in series, I can able to get the required resistance. So this combination is correct. So how I have to connect? So conclusion enna? So R1 and R2 should be in series. Sorry, should be in parallel. And the third resistance R3 should be in series. Should be in series with that. Series with that parallel combination. With that parallel combination. So that I can able to get what? So that I can able to get the total resistance as 150 ohms. Hope you should have understood. Yes, copy it out.
Sir.
So the problem number 8 is a cell supplies a current of 0.9 ampere through 2 ohm resistor and a current of 0.3 ampere through a 7 ohm resistor. calculate the internal resistance of a cell. Come on. A cell supplies a current of ரெண்டு case இருக்கு. First of all, I am taking the case 1. A cell supplies a current of, so I am taking it as I1 as 0.9 ampere through a 2 ohm resistor. I am taking R1 as 2 ohm resistor. And case 2, what is case 2? In that same cell of EMF E, a current of 0.3 ampere is allowed to pass through an resistance of about 7 ohm. Calculate the internal resistance of the cell. So in both of the cases, EMF is same and internal resistance is also same. So I am writing the formula for internal resistance in two cases. So for case 1, the internal resistance is given by the formula. In general, internal resistance is by E minus V by V multiplied it with external resistance R. In case 1, I have to put E minus V1 multiplied it with R1. What is V1? V1 is nothing but I1 into R1. I1 is 0.9. What is R1? R1 is 2. So I can write V1 is equal to 1.8 volt. Substitute in this equation, small r is equal to EMF E minus 1.8 divided by 1.8 multiplied it with R1. R1 is 2. So simplify this equation. Internal resistance is E minus, what is this 1.8 divided by, when I am dividing, I can get 0.9. Take this as equation number 1. This is for case 1. Similarly, you write it for case 2. See, the internal resistance for case 2 is E minus, instead of V1, it is V2 divided by V2 multiplied with the external resistance. Here it is R2. What is the value of V2? V2 is I2 into R2. I2 is 0.3. This is I2, 0.3 multiplied it with 7. So I can get the value of V2 as 2.1 volt. Now, what is this internal resistance R? EMF minus V2 is 2.1 divided by 2.1 multiplied it with R2. R2 is 7. So R equal to EMF E minus 2.1 divided by, simplify pannona, you can get 0.3. Take this as equation number 2. See, by solving these two equations, I can able to get the value of EMF. After getting EMF, you have to substitute in any one of the equation to get internal resistance. So in order to solve, I am writing like this, equating equation 1 and equation 2, because both the left hand sides are equal. Internal resistance of the given cell is a constant for this given cell. So R1 and R internal resistance, both the left hand sides are equal. So you equate both the right hand sides. On equating, you get E minus 1.8 divided by 0.9 is equal to E minus 2.1 divided by 0.3. Make a cross multiplication. You will be getting it as 0.3 into E minus 1.8 equal to 0.9 into E minus 2.1. So you multiply it with the 10 on both sides. You will be getting 3E minus, when you are multiplying, so you will be getting 4, then 5. 5.4 equal to, and I am multiplying here with the 10, it becomes 9. So 9E minus, here when you are getting 9, then 9 into 2, 18. 18.9. Simplify, take this 3 to the other side, 9E minus 3E. Take this to the other side, 18.9 minus 5.4. So here I will be getting it as 6E equal to, when I am subtracting, here it is 0.5. Here 3, 1, 13.5. So the EM of E equal to 13.5 divided by 6. What is its value? 2.25 volt as its answer. Isn't it? EMF is 2.25. Divide பண்ணி பாரு correct தான். 12, 25, 1, 15, 20, correct. Then after calculating EMF, you substitute this value 3 in either 1 or 2. Substituting value of EMF either in 1 or in 2. Now on the 1 substitute பண்றேன். Substituting in 1, small r equal to 2.25 minus 1.8 divided by 0.9. So 2.25 minus 1.8, here root 5, 4. So 0.45. 0.45 divided, multiplied it with r varnulya, multiplied it with r na, you have to multiply it with the 2. So 0.45 into 2 divided by 0.9. What will be your answer? See, r will be then equal to here 0.9 divided by 0. And I am multiplying it, you will be able to get 2 zeros. இல்லைன்னா ஒன்று பண்ணலாம், மேலையும் கீழையும் 10 multiply பண்ணிக்கோ. What will be your answer? 4.5 into 2. So am I correct?
Sir.
So when you are substituting in equation 1, what I am able to get? 2.25 minus 1.8 by 0.9. On subtracting, I will be getting 0.45 divided by what? Divided by 0.9. Or I can write like this, 4.5 divided by 9. So 4.5 divided by 9 is 0.5 ohm. So the internal resistance of the cell is given as 0.5 ohm as its answer. So you can copy it out. Hope you should have understood.
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
See, a circuit diagram is given and they have asked to calculate what is the value of current flowing in that circuit. So what is the amount of current that is flowing in the circuit? Abdina, I have to calculate what is the value of I1, what is the value of I2, and what is the value of I3. Okay, I am first of all calculating I am applying Kirchhoff's laws to calculate this. See, first of all, I am marking the junctions. The junctions as A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. Applying the Kirchhoff's first law. Apply Kirchhoff's first law to the junction B. So to the junction B, you apply the Kirchhoff's first law. According to the Kirchhoff's first law, algebraic sum of the currents meeting at the junction is 0. I1 is flowing towards, so plus I1. I2 is flowing away, so minus I2. I3 is flowing away, so minus I3 equal to 0. Or I can write this equation like this. I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. Take this as equation number 1. Then you consider two closed circuits so that Kirchhoff's second law can be applied. See, I am having 3 unknown quantities, so I have to frame 3 equations. Solving the 3 equations, 3 values can be calculated. So apply Kirchhoff's second law. Apply Kirchhoff's second law to the closed path A, B, E, F, A. A, B, E, F, A. Apply this to the closed path. See, in A to B, there is no resistance, so we can leave it out. From B to E, the product of current and resistance is I3 into R3. Isn't it? I3 into R3 R2. I3 into, here I have taken it as R2. I3 into R2. This is positive because the direction of current and the path are same. Then I am moving from E to F. When I am moving from E to F, the path and current are in the same direction, so again plus. Product of current and resistance is I1 into R1. And I am reaching A. No other resistance available. Is equal to total EMF in this closed path ABEFA. Total EMF is 15 volt. Let us consider it as E. Or let us take this as E1 and this as E2. So E1. Then in E1, the current is flowing from negative to positive along this direction. So positive. E1 is positive. So I am writing it as E1. If I am substituting the values, see what is R2? R2 is 100 ohm. So I can write 100 I3 plus what is R1? Another 100. So I am writing 100 I1 is equal to what is E1? E1 is 15 volt. But I have already stated in the previous step that I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. So I am simplifying this equation by substituting for I1. So I can write 100 I3 plus 100 into, instead of I1, I am putting I2 plus I3 is equal to 15. When I am simplifying, I get 100 I2 plus 100 I3, 100 I3 in your 100 I3. So I can write 200 I3 plus 100 I2 is equal to 15. Take this as equation number 2. Then you consider the next one. You apply third equation. You apply the Kirchhoff's second law to any one of the closed circuit. I am taking B, C, D, E, B. B, C, D, E, B. Come on, apply. From B to C, there is no resistance, so leave it out. C to D, you are having R3 and current pass this I2. So I2 into R3 along the same direction of current. So this is positive. Then when I am moving from D to E, there is no resistance. When I am moving from E to B, the path is opposite to that of the current. So minus. What is the product of current and resistance? I3 flowing through R2. So I am writing I3 into R2 is equal to the total EMF. What is the total EMF? See, B to C. When I am moving from B to C, current is flowing from positive terminal to negative terminal. So it is minus E2. Now you substitute the values. What is I2? We have to calculate. What is R3? 100. So I am writing 100 I2 minus what is R2? R2 is another 100. What is I3? I have to calculate is equal to minus of I2 is how much? Sorry, E2 is how much? 9 volt. So minus of 9. Take this as equation number 3. Now you solve equation 2 and equation 3. Solve equation 2 and equation 3. Come on, take equation 2. I am writing it like this. 100 I2 plus 200 I3 equal to 15. Then third equation, 100 I2 minus 100 I3 equal to minus 9. So we have to subtract. Inge minus, inge plus, inge plus. So this term will get cancelled. So I will be able to get it out as 300 I3 is equal to 24. Am I correct? So what is the value of I3? 24 divided by 3 into 10 power 2. So when I am cancelling, I am getting 8 into 10 power minus 2 ampere. Or I can write I3 equal to 0.08 ampere. Okay, I have calculated I3. Substitute in equation 2 to calculate I2, or substitute in equation 3 to calculate I2. So substituting in 2 or in 3, okay, whatever may be. I'm not 3 substitute. So I can write what will be the value? 100 I2 minus 100 into I3, that is 0.08 is equal to minus 9. So how I can simplify? 100 I2 minus 8. Yeah, 0.08 into 100 is minus 8 equal to minus 9. So what is I2 then? Or I can write 100 I2. Take this to the other side. Minus 9 plus 8 is minus 1. Or I2 will be minus 1 divided by 10 power 2. Taking it to the numerator, I can write minus 1 into 10 power minus 2 ampere. Or I can get what? Or I can get I2 will be then equal to, when I am multiplying 0.01 ampere with one negative sign. So minus of, so I am writing it again. So I can write minus of 0.01 ampere as the value of I2. Now, what is the value of I1? Therefore, we know that from equation 1, I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. So I1 is equal to I2 is minus of 0.01 plus I3 is 0.08. Now, what will be your value of I1 then? The value of I1 will be then equal to 0.07 ampere. So I got the three answers: I1, I2, and I3. I1 is 0.07 ampere, I2 is minus of 0.01 ampere, and I3 is 0.08 ampere. So hope you should have understood what I have told here or what I have derived here. Okay, are you able to see it? So the problem: a potentiometer wire has a length of 4 meter and the resistance of the potentiometer is 20 ohm. It is connected in series with a resistance of 2980 ohm and a cell of EMF 4 volt. Calculate the potential gradient. See, you are having a potentiometer wire. Let us take that potentiometer wire as AB. The resistance of the potentiometer wire, I am taking RT. This resistance is considered to be 20 ohm. And they have given the length of the potentiometer wire as L, which is equal to 4 meter. To this, what they have done? To this, they have connected an external resistance and a cell or a battery in series. The cell, the resistance connected, let us consider it as R, 2980 ohm. And the EMF connected is considered to be equal to 4 volt. What they have asked you to calculate potential gradient. What do you mean by this potential gradient? So we can write like this: potential gradient is equal to potential potential difference across the potentiometer wire. Potential difference across the potentiometer divided by the total length. Divided by the total length of the potentiometer. Any quantity divided by length is called to be gradient. Velocity divided by length, velocity gradient. Potential by gradient, potential gradient, and the negative potential gradient is equal to electrical field. Already you might have studied in your first lesson. Okay, the potential difference across the potentiometer divided by total length is the potential gradient. First of all, I have to calculate what is the potential difference across the potentiometer. Potential difference across the potentiometer is nothing but, let us take it out as Vp. Potential difference across the potentiometer is nothing but current through the potentiometer wire from the primary circuit multiplied with resistance of the potentiometer. See, what is the current then? The current available is EMF divided by total resistance connected in the potentiometer. So what is the total resistance? The total resistance RT is external resistance connected plus resistance of the potentiometer. External resistance connected is 2980 plus resistance of the potentiometer is 20. So 3000 ohms is considered to be the total resistance of the potentiometer. Now that current I is equal to EMF divided by total resistance means EMF is taken to be what? EMF is taken to be 4 volt divided by the total resistance is considered to be 3000. So such an ampere, or I can write like this, 4 divided by 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 ampere as the current. Now you take this and substitute here. Therefore, potential difference across the potentiometer Vp is current I, 4 divided by 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into 20. What will be your answer then? So, update 4 into 20 divided by 3 into 10 power minus 3 volt. Now, what is potential gradient? Finally, simplify பண்ணிக்கிறேன். Potential gradient is equal to potential difference across the potentiometer Vp divided by the length of the potentiometer. So 4 into 20 divided by 3 into 10 power minus 3 by length. Length is again 4. So on simplifying, this 4 and this 4 will get cancelled. So 20 divided by 3. What is this 20 divided by 3? 6 3s are 18. So 20 over 6.666 like this it is going on into 10 to the power of minus 3 volt per meter. Or I can write this in such a way that which is equal to 0.66 into 10 to the power of minus 2 volt per meter, which is given in your book. So this is taken to be what? This is taken to be the answer for this problem number 10.